Rosemary. Wow, isn't it wonderful? As the song goes, love grows where my rosemary goes. Yeah, that one. It is just a wonderful, magical plant. And to bring it in during colder weather and be able to enjoy its fragrance and flowers and it's just so fantastic. If you get that opportunity, you should. And it's warming up now, so it is taking off. Hi, everyone. I am not as artistic as many other soapers. I just love the work that some people do. They're just a tiara at Gypsy Faye, and I could go down the list of just all the beautiful artists out there in soap. And they make some of the most gorgeous things ever. I am not so artistic in that specific way. Formulas, can I come up with some great formulas? I think that is my forte. But when it comes to making something beautiful, that's not really my thing. Now, I'm not saying that some of the soaps aren't attractive. I just mean I don't get into a lot of real decorative things, at least by many people's standards. But I had an idea. This is dissolvable paper. You've seen this. Other people have made lots of soaps. Melt and pour with you'll print something on dissolvable paper and then put it in your melt and pour, and the paper dissolves, leaving the inked design behind. And it can be very pretty. I've seen some just gorgeous work done that way, and you'll see a lot of videos on that on YouTube. But I decided to use it in a cold process soap. And of course, you can't see through cold process soap, right? It's not transparent. So I'm doing this a bit differently, and I just wanted to share that with you. So the first thing I had to do was take a picture of Rosemary. Or in this case, this is actually a drawing, a painting of Rosemary. I tried a couple photos, but I just wasn't happy with how it would look for this specific design, the size I wanted, and all that. So I found a painting, and that's what I'm going with. And this is one that is public domain, so no problem there. And then I simply cut them out to size and trim them up. And not much to this part. Okay, so after doing this, so I would just take alcohol, in this case this is 99%, and then press the the dissolvable paper down into the bottom. And this will hold together. And then I spray it again. And then I would pour my cold process over this. This is just to hold it in place so it doesn't float up. Then pour the cold process soap, and hopefully that design is left behind. Now, you may wonder, well, I'm putting ink on my soap. Nope, not at all. And I'm going to put links in the description of this video. So do look at the description. It'll tell you where to get this dissolvable paper, as well as where to get the edible ink that I'm about to tell you about. That's right, edible ink. There are specific inks that you can get that are made for using in air guns for decorating cakes, that sort of thing. And there are some companies out there, and like I said, I'll put a link in the description, that makes them for my Epson printer that are food quality. You could eat it if you wanted. And that to me is the safest thing to use for this. Because it's made of all natural ingredients, glycerin, and then the colorants are earth-based, so very friendly. And so much different than the inks that may be in your printer. Those are made for paper, they're made to be permanent, and they may stain the skin. I don't know that. I've not messed with them, I don't want to mess with them. But I've got ink from cartridges on me before and it generally washes off. So I don't worry that you couldn't just use regular printer ink, but there may be folks that have allergies to it. And I don't really know much about it as far as using it in something like soap. So I decided I wanted something that was food quality, much more human friendly. All right. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to put the soap together and then we'll come back. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is that I'm using rosemary infused oil, my own rosemary. There's about 12 pounds, that's right, of rosemary that's been infused in oils. And I just find that by doing that, by infusing it in there, it just gives a better depth of fragrance, because I'm also going to be using some other essential oils in this soap to kind of ground it a bit of tea tree and Litsea, to just kind of give it a foundation and make it a bit more stable and strong in the soap. That's really what I want. This is going to be a fragrance-forward soap. Where many of my soaps, I tend to just lightly fragrance them. This one's going to be a bit more fragrant. So for those that love a vibrant fragrance in the morning, using essential oils, this is made for you. So hang on and we'll be right back with the pour. Hi everyone, welcome. It's so good having you here. So I'm sort of midway starting here. I'm working on getting my goat milk, my oatmeal. This is my oatmeal and kale and clay here. I'm mixing into my goat milk lye solution. So let me go ahead and get that spun up real quick. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just get this poured in. Pretty bubbly there, isn't it? But that'll all dissipate in the oils. My essential oil blend. Which is a wonderful combination because this is a rosemary design with the dissolvable paper. I'm making the star of this rosemary essential oil, but not rosemary alone. I wanted to have something a little spicier, so there's a little bit of tea tree and some Litsea cubea in here to just give it a little more depth and just a few more notes that I think just really work wonderfully. So let me give this a little spin first and then we'll get the molds ready. Now let me get the molds ready. These are I printed these out and then cut them out, which took forever to do. So I just kind of go around them. I'm not doing anything too specific in how I trim them. I just want to make sure I get, the main image here. Because when the paper dissolves and the ink is all that's left behind, the paper is just paper, just wood pulp. But when it dissolves, it's going to leave behind a little bit of the dissolved paper. So you want as little of it as possible so you don't have to wipe it off later. and just show you what happens to it. You can see it completely dissolves away into just this kind of purple muck because of the inks that are in it. And this is safe enough to drink, although it doesn't seem like it would be very flavorful. But yeah, that's it. It's just a photograph of some rosemary. And I'm going to spray the bottom of each of these with a bit of alcohol, just so that they will stick. Go. And sorry, this is kind of quiet time here to do this, but this was a lot of fun. It's very therapeutic. Just cutting the designs out of the paper. It's a bit time consuming, but enjoyable. Just reminded me of doing crafts with my mother as a child. I'm always drippy and messy doing this. I figure better too much soap than not enough. All right. So what do you think? They're kind of cool. They smell wonderful. This was, a rather simple process. Obviously, I didn't put a lot of work into the art other than printing it and cutting it out and putting it in the mold, but I'm really happy with them. I think that they fit the concept very well. I mean, I can see doing this with lavender or rose. You could do all sorts of wonderful things. Now, one thing to consider, because this is on the surface, it's going to wash off the first time, or, well, not the first time, but maybe the first or second time you use it, because it is just on the surface. So, I mean, if you wanted to reserve that a little more, you could wash with the back side of it and try to reserve it, but I quite frankly am not sure how successful that might be. So it's ornamental, but only temporary. So think of it kind of like a temporary tattoo, right? Something that you get because you enjoy it, but it's ethereal and ephemeral and has a very short lifespan. But to me, some of the most beautiful things in life last but a moment. Like right now in my own gardens, the daffodils, the hyacinths, and the snowdrops are all sort of fading now with the rains and things, but they were beautiful for a few days. And that doesn't diminish the beauty of them just because it was for a short time. And think of it like love. Think of when you were young. Young love oftentimes is very short, but it's the sweetest of all. So, I'm trying to sell the soap, okay? I'm being silly, but I'm really happy with them. I hope you'll give this a try. It's a lot of fun, and I can see how doing this for things like wedding favors or something custom for the kids. You could do comics, you could do cartoons, you could do superheroes or cars or dinosaurs, fairies or angels or whatever you want. You could print and make this with. So just a thought. I hope you enjoyed this. I really had a lot of fun making it. These will be in the store probably the first part of April. All right. So I hope you have a fantastic day. I had a lot of fun being with you today. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. Post in the comments, and I'll see you back soon. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.